Trent Sisley has made a decision on where he will play basketball next season, and
Hoosier.
that does not mean his college choice card. This means where he's going to play high school basketball next season. Trent Sisley is joining Montverde Academy. That's big news. Montverde, one of the very best programs in the entire country. Most recently, Cooper Flagg took his talents to Montverde. Cade Cunningham was at Montverde a couple years ago. I'm missing a bazillion other really great players that have come through Montverde. Trent Sisley will be the next. He is a guy we've talked about a bunch because his final list of schools has come out recently with both Purdue and Indiana on it, and Michigan State and Notre Dame, amongst others. Montverde means something. That's why you're pointing.
Hoosier.
Why does Montverde mean Hoosier?
They got a pretty good pipeline with that school. I know Liam McNeely didn't work out, but like Malik Renew, Montverde, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Montverde. For me, Indiana was the first school that came to mind when he transferred to Montverde. Now, I don't think this still takes it out from the original comments that we had. I think this ends up being an Indiana school. But to me, if I was forced to pick, like, what does this mean? It might mean to me that he goes to Indiana. This also could mean, though, that like people are pretty split on Trent Sisley. Like some people have him like very, very low in rankings. I think he's better than people give him credit for. So this could also end up in him like blowing up maybe a little bit more than than he is right now, and other schools getting involved with him.
Yeah, that's, I guess, the more interesting part of this to me. Like, obviously, the Montverde pipeline is well established to Indiana. This is big news for Hoosier fans, I think. That doesn't mean the other schools can't land him, but this gives them a leg up if they didn't already have a leg up. The more interesting part of this to me is, do we think this is a good move for Trent Sisley and his recruitment? Because if you think about it, Sisley has already named the final five, right? So to me, sometimes I think like if you're like a fringe top 100 guy going to a school like Montverde, usually in my head that means you're trying to prove that you're good enough so you get more offers. But Sisley's already like given his final list, so I don't think Sisley's like out here to gain more blue blood love. Maybe this is just like a prove it to himself thing. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he got recruited by Montverde. I don't really know what it is, but can you try to explain like why is the 100th rated player in the class who is not going to be the star at Montverde Academy? Why is he doing this?
Sometimes I think that these kids that are talented to the level that Sisley is, in my opinion, they need to get out of like this the normal high school basketball. Like playing at his school in the state of Indiana, his public high school, I think I think he needs to expand it a little bit. And Montverde, one, I think he's talented enough to play for Montverde, and two, I think Montverde plays the best of the best. And these other prep schools like this, these other schools like this, they play the best of the best schools. And I'm not gonna, I I don't want to downplay the high school that he plays at now, but to me, a lot of the best kids from Indiana, even though they come from Indiana schools, they also kind of branch out a little bit. Like you look at like what Xavier Booker did at Cathedral. He played 4 years there, and he did play some good competition. But like, would he have been better off maybe going to uh, a program like a Montverde or something like that to get like some preparation for going into college? I think so. So I'm always a fan of this move, because I think, especially if you have the talent to play there, because I think it'll give you a leg up coming into college.
All right, can I put my evil spin zone hat on?
Yes.
He's ducking Braylon Mullins.
What?
Let's have a little Mr. Basketball State of Indiana race, shall we?
Wow, he's ducking Braylon
Let's
Mullins.
have a little. I mean, Indiana elite teammates: Braylon Mullins, Malachi Moreno, and Trent Sisley. Right, that's the trio. They're going on a visit to Indiana together. Let me take you back a few years, my friend. Let me take you back to the last time we had a couple state of Indiana kids that were competing, highly rated, not sure where they're going to go. Oh, it was Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer, wasn't it? It was two guys who end up going to Purdue. They like each other. I'm not saying they don't, but they had a rivalry in high school, pretty big rivalry in high school. Fletcher was, supposedly the better player at the time. Uh, didn't Braden end up winning Mr. Basketball? Am I wrong on that? Let me look this up.
I thought Fletch won it,
We're gonna
and
have,
Braden was upset.
we're gonna have to look this up. I thought it was the other way.
It might be. It very well might
Yeah,
be.
yeah, it was the other way, Car, because let's be honest about it. Which one of those two would be the one to get upset about this? Braden Smith was named Indiana's Mr. Basketball in 2022. Kind of correct move, as you've seen how their careers have gone since. Fletcher Lawyer and the Lawyer family had a few little, well, that was supposed to be my award. I think that's what's going on here a little bit. I think there's a little bit of Trent Sisley and Braylon Mullins are competing. They're friends. They'll probably go to the same school, but they're competing. One of them's better than the other.
Can I put my evil hat on?
One of them's Final Five is going to include UConn and North Carolina and Kentucky. One of them's includes Iowa and Notre Dame.
Can I put my evil hat on?
Sure.
Braylon Mullins is not going to play high school basketball in the state of Indiana.
Oh, spicy. Don't tell me he's going to Montverde too.
Now, I don't know if he's going to Montverde, but I wouldn't be surprised if he finds himself somewhere else.
But isn't the whole thing like state of Indiana kids should stay in Indiana? I mean, obviously some have gone elsewhere.
He can go play for La Lu.
Yeah, I mean, Montverde's Montverde. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to shit on like the national circuit of high school basketball, but like in my head, Sisley and Mullins were like so tied at the hip, state of Indiana kids. They shoot on wooden backboards in their backyard, Like that's what I viewed this as. And I'm just a little surprised. Like it would make more sense if the higher rated recruit who has the blue blood offers right now was the one doing this than is Sisley even going to start at Montverde?
I got to look at what the rest of the roster will look like. But like,
I don't feel like he is, Cart.
yeah, I don't know because they have what do they have? I mean, they got like Hudson Greer on that team. They got a couple highly rated guys on there for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't mean to shit on the kid, but like this is one of those like confusing ones where maybe it helps Indiana, oddly enough, but I don't know.
Also, lastly, and this isn't meant to be mean whatsoever. I know Braylon's got so much motion at his high school that he might not want to leave. I don't know if Trent Sisley's got motion like that.
I don't like where this conversation's headed.
You should probably end.
Congrats to Big Sis. Big development. How many combined trips do you think Tom Izzo and Matt Painter will take to the state of Florida to visit with Trent Sisley? Long way away, Car. I mean, it's
A
not
long way
easy
away, but I think
flight these days.
Sorry, I think him and Sadi will stop at Link on their way. They'll stop in Missouri. They'll stop at Link to go see Kristen Ack, and then they'll make their way to Florida to go see Big Sis.